Well, folks, we are here. LICMC Radio on Facebook Live. This is a surprise live we're doing, and I have my good friend, cohort, and work engineer constituent, Miss Dannie on the line. Hi, Dannie.
Hey, everybody. Nice to be here.
And Dannie's one of the people that works with me, and we're gonna stop this before we gotta go back. We doing flash news. Dannie's the one that came up with information that I didn't even know about. And so, Dannie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Danielle, but everybody calls me Dannie. Londen and I go back a couple years as good friends. We work together, and she's a sweet person. We come up with this news flash because it's very informative that people should know what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. And Dannie has plenty of information for us. Now, before we play that clip, what actually birthed this little news flash was you, Dannie. You were telling me about something called Plus Up. And some people might know about it, but I didn't. So I'm figuring if I didn't know about it, there might be some more people that just didn't know about it. You want to tell us a little bit about it, and I'll play it. And when you get ready for me, too, I'll play the little the information that supports what you're saying from off of YouTube.
Okay, now, what the information I've read that I got it off the news flash was the stimulus is in a bunch of different parts. We're supposed to be getting a stimulus check up until 4 years. The IRS mails checks out every Wednesday. They have a certain category that's part of the stimulus that's called the Plus Up, which means that you're guaranteed to get money, but you have to go through some steps and find the information out. It's not really hard. I'll tell anybody, Google it. You know, Google is my best friend. Mm-hmm. And you can get so much information that'll stop you from asking uninformed people information, because I would say their news and information is more reliable.
Okay. So if you want me to, I can play this clip so people won't say, okay, we're just talking. But no, we're not just talking. Once again, wanted to say, folks, we just have a news flash with Londen and Dannie. Dannie and I started talking today, and she gave me some information that I wasn't aware of. And, you know, and I mean, a lot of people might be aware of it, but I wasn't. As much as I do watch the news or, you know, in between working and whatever, I would have thought maybe it would have popped up somewhere, but I didn't know about it. So, but we're going to play a clip that really supports what she's saying again, about the, something called Plus Up. Watch it.
Plus Up payments is what they're called, along with the third round of stimulus checks. Plus Up payments can be issued for a variety of reasons, including a situation where a person's income dropped in 2020 compared to 2019, or a person had a new child or dependent on their 2020 tax return. You can check the Get My Payment tool on the IRS's website to see the status of your stimulus and supplemental payments. We have that linked on NBC4i.com.
This one, look at this right quick, folks. So this is what she's talking about. 4 years. All this is on YouTube. So we just want you to know it's on YouTube, and that's the information that supports what's being said. And it says it's just announced, and this came out in April of the 21st. It says 4 years monthly checks. I'm like, what? Stimulus child tax credit update April 21st, 2021. And then it says 4 years of monthly checks just announced child tax credit stimulus check update. So
it's not just for people with kids. It's for married people and for singles and singles.
Okay, so you can go online and just check it out some more and look into it. So this is news flash once again with Dannie and with Londen here, and we're gonna go even a little further right now. I think I want to play this. Now, this information I wanted to play. I saw this on the news today. And we want to tell you none of this information is our property, of course. We want to say that up front. But this is what's going on with racial profiling and all this kind of thing. I mean, they put this on the news. As a matter of fact, I do want to say, I'll say it after you see this clip right quick about what's happening in Hazel Park area of Michigan adjacent to the Detroit, Michigan 8 Mile. Listen.
Blatant stand against racial profiling on 8 Mile. This giant billboard now catching attention by calling out police.
Yeah. Boards like this one at 8 Mile and DeQuinder now warn of a racial profiling zone, with a coalition urging citizens to report it to a new hotline.
It's needed. The billboard, it should be.
So I just wanted to take a look at that. Put that picture back on right quick. Since we have freedom of speech, this billboard is up on. It says it's up on 8 Mile. Controversial billboard it is. So it was on the news. We don't own this information. But since it is out there, I just wanted to give you a flash of what is happening for those that didn't get a chance to hear about that yet. So if you're driving up and down 8 Mile in the Hazel Park area, what I saw on the news, the police officers along with the news guys was out with this meter that can, focus on your car. And they was telling us that it's right on the borderline of Detroit. It's in Hazel Park. And they say it's to stop traffic accidents. But, the newscaster was asking them, about a certain part about it. I guess he was saying, well, they're not trying to profile anybody because they can't even see that far in the distance. There's so many feet away they can see. So they can't see who's in the car. I guess they was trying to just say, well, it's not about racial profiling. But this billboard is up right out there, so that you.
That billboard is biggest day.
Biggest day. Yep, and it's out there. Now this I saw on news today, and it says danger, racial profiling zone, cameras out, share your story, and they have the phone number up there if you have an issue with being racial profiled. And they said they tell you to tweet at end the profiling. Then it's got Facebook racial profiling across 8 Mile. And this is paid for by Moratorium Now Coalition. And because we have freedom of speech, we can buy a billboard like this. Now, I see this here on the news, but I'll tell you, I saw a billboard driving up into Livonia. And I remember, I don't know if they had announced that, but I was driving down there, and they had said it was racial profiling. I saw that my own self. And it was on, I'm trying to see where I was. I'm trying to see where I was on Plymouth. Going up into Livonia, and I saw the big billboard. I'm like, wow. So they're warning people that this is a dangerous area. You might get stopped by the police because you're black. So that's what they were saying on that billboard. I saw that. So this is what's happening today. And, so we just want you to just be aware of it. And then, the question is, why is it on the borderline of Detroit? It's right across the street. If they see you and you come, like you take that little U-turn to get back on 8 Mile, but you're on a Hazel Park side, they have the rights to chase you down. And they can probably chase you right into Detroit if they want to. Because they're right on their borderline. But the whole thing is, we're looking for fairness. There's issues with this, and so it's up there. And I hope this brings about awareness. And I hope that the police department in that area will, if that's what's going on there, they will stop or slow down their attitude on that. I know the chief of the police in that area is saying that if anybody has a problem, that they can just report it to them. They'll check it out. He'll make sure it gets taken care of. But if you tell us that, we're just not going to just go for that. I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot we report things now, and a lot of things just it's in the wind. And so now what's happening is people are not going for that. They're not going for it. They want it to either stop, and they just want people to be aware. So I thank God for that we do have at least the freedom of speech, and they cannot make you take that billboard down. You pay for it.
That's true.
So, Dannie, what do you have to say about this?
Well, how I look at it is, like you said, people do have a freedom of speech. And if somebody's doing something, profiling is wrong on any level. Mm-hmm. But if everybody got their cameras out, like they said, be prepared to roll your cameras when you roll down there. The police, just like the citizens, need to be accountable. See, all along it's been the citizens been accountable, and the police department hasn't been.
Mm-hmm.
But now we finally getting some kind of reprieve where they are criminals just like the criminals out in the streets. You have good ones and you have bad ones. We don't want to lump them all up together, but if you're a bad one, then you should have the same punishment dealt out to you as you would any common citizen.
That's what you call abusing authority in law. People of the law abusing their authority. I will say, I remember driving across. I was coming out of Ferndale. I was coming out of Ferndale, and I'm between Ohio and Michigan, and so I was coming out of there, and I just had a funny feeling about the people behind me. I don't know if I didn't see it. I just felt it. Sometimes you just feel it. I turned the corner. No. Let me see. When I felt that feeling, I should have kept going straight across. So I was on Woodward coming out of Ferndale, right at the bridge. Where we all the Woodward, 8 Mile. And so I, instead of me crossing, I made a right turn. Do you know they turned right with me? And it was two rookies. They looked like rookies if they weren't. And when they got through with me, I'm out of some money and driver's license. Something they said none of it even made any sense. But when it was all said and done, at the end of the day, I had to go immediately that night, go to my ATM, get the money so I can pay for get my driver's license back. Took the plates off my car. And I said, how am I supposed to get anywhere without any plates? I don't want to get stopped again. But the whole point was these guys, they seemed real giddy and they were real young. And it just seemed like, let's do this, And so we got to go back and do this and that and go pay. So I went and paid for it. I didn't get my plates back. I got my driver's license back. But to me, it was crooked. It was all crooked.
And it's been like that for a long time, because I don't know if you remember when the two police arrested this black girl on the west side, and they put her out of her car, and then they filmed themselves saying, "Back, Felicia."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I don't know what became of that, but I remember sitting there in the car, and I didn't want to go in my purse, and he saying I kept my hands on the wheel. I just didn't know. I'm going, okay. I had somebody with me. One of the people that was working with our organization was there with me. Put your hands on the wheel. And they knew good and well there was nothing going on with me. But that's what they do, and it just seemed like they were having fun, honestly. When I went,
some of them's mentality is like that,
Mm-hmm. So we're just doing this because we want people to be, careful and aware of what is going on out here. And if you're driving down 8 Mile, try not to speed, or just try your best. Because sometimes you don't have to be doing anything, and they'll still find a way to stop you. I've had that happen to me, and I knew good and well that I wasn't doing anything, but I just kept my peace and prayed, and the Lord got me out of it. But it wasn't right. It just wasn't right. It wasn't even nothing right about it. Sometimes they haven't even asked. They didn't ask for any insurance. They didn't ask for any registration. They asked for none of that. And I thought, if you're going to stop somebody, you're going to ask them for all these things to see if everything's valid.
Depends on what your agenda is.
Exactly. Where the agenda was, he had nothing else to do that night. That's how I felt. One of them, and then he told me, he says, oh, you're from Ohio? He said, I bet you're not from Ohio. You just got Ohio plates, so you have to pay. That's what he's inferring. I said, sir, that's my birthplace. I have business in Ohio and in Michigan. But I know, they went and looked it up, and he just didn't, nothing else what he could say. Because if you go online, it'll tell you who the person is. If they have business, if they are business people, if they, that website probably popped up. And, all he could do is fade away, give my license plate back. And that was because he said it was something about my light. But you're going to take me through all of that, and then you're going to question me, telling, you making your mind up, judging me, saying I just got Ohio place just because, but I'm not really. I said, sir, I was born there. This is my birthplace, and I still have a business there, and I have here and there, and I've always done that. So when he went and looked, I guess that's what he saw. Well, nothing else for him to say. But if he could have
went either way.
Yeah, sometimes they make stuff up. I had to make stuff up on me too. Yep, and then you got out of pocket of money. This thing got nothing else was going down. But I've seen it. I've even seen it. And I've gone to a station where I had to go pay something that pay for it. And the lady said, "Well, he said your driver's license were expired." I said, "Ma'am, here's my driver's license right here." I said, "My driver's license are not expired." And she's grinning in my face. The other lady behind the window, and I had to pay her all this money. She says, "Go over there. It's in Dearborn. Go over there and you can let them check your card, this and that and the other." And then the police officer that came out asked me, "Why did the guy even stop me in the first place?" He said it. He knew that wasn't right. So he just
They do so much stuff that ain't right, and it trickles down. Not to change the subject, but what do you think about the mayor paying people $50 to take that shot?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are getting that shot for the $50. I don't know what all that's about. They really want everybody to get that shot, basically the injection.
But how many people did research on that shot? Because I was already informed they have a shot, a pill, and a spray. And people don't know that they have all three of them, but they do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. They have a COVID shot, an injection, and a pill?
Yeah.
You said a spray. They have an injection, a spray, and a pill.
A nasal spray and a pill.
Well, hey, how'd you find that out? You found it on your news flash?
Yeah. No, I seen on television, on the news.
Wow. They didn't really repeat that very much because I try to watch it a little every day. I totally missed that. I didn't even know.
Well, when after our conversation, Google it.
Well, I believe you. My thing is, that's why it's good to conversate, and that's why it's talk. Because what we're saying, what's so easy now, you can really solidify this information that we're talking about just by going on YouTube and typing the words in and checking it out. Basically. But it's good. We call it news flash with Londen and Danielle. But Danielle basically inspired this because of what she told me about the plus up. I'm like, what's that? That's more money that baby people are supposed to get due to the situation our country is in. Then also you're talking about the COVID injection, so I didn't know there was a spray. I didn't know there was a pill, and apparently they might have mentioned it, but they don't push that too much anymore, do they?
No, they don't push it. And another reason is because they have so much backlash with just the injections. First it was the Johnsons. Oh, it's making people sick, but that's only one shot.
Mm-hmm.
And how statistics are going now, as a lot of people that take that first shot, it's making them so sick that they don't know what to do, that they're not going back for that second shot.
And that's what they're not saying that, but they're saying people are not coming back for the second shot. And then my thing is, coming from my perspective, if I hear about a shot that's causing blood clots, I don't care if one person dies. I don't want it. That's me. And, so, they said, they only had, several cases of people that got blood clot and, a couple people died, but it should be fine. That's only a very small percentage. To me, if you value life at all, that means I don't care if anybody gets affected by it the wrong way, then I have second thoughts about it, So now it's back out again. So to me, you just have to make up your mind what you want to do. I think
research. They have to research. They have to be informed. They can't be like, what is that? To stick their head in the sand, an ostrich or something.
Right.
You can't have that mentality. You know, it doesn't matter if you're 9 or 900. You need to be informed about this information.
Especially when it has something to do with your well-being, your health. Now, you also said something too. Well, you're gonna make me do a lot of research now. You also said that you had heard that people are having side effects after getting an injection.
Yes, some injections. It was on my news feed. They had a bad reaction from it because they had no people to test it on.
But would you say something about the brain? Was it mental?
Fluid. They had, once you read it, they had like 20 different, side effects from it.
Mm-hmm.
And they how they put it is, it's not gonna come on you all at once. So you never know when, it could be dormant in your body and the medicine kicks it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's too many variables, which they made this medicine too quick. You have a disease one year and you bring a cure the next year. Like I tell anybody, we have no cure for heart disease. We have no cure for arthritis. We have no cure for cancer. It's so many things that we have, that they should be trying to find a cure for. But they're not putting as much energy into the cures that's been here forever than they are putting so much energy in something that they have not tested on no humans.
And I just would like to say though, I believe because it's a rush, because when people just start dying like they are, or so many people are getting infected with the COVID so easily, it's so many. It's too much. It's a whole lot going on there, and I just think they're trying to find a way or figure out how they can just handle it so they can, they're trying to stop it like that. They're trying to hopefully.
But you know what this reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me back in the Bible day. You know how when the king told Moses, "Oh, you could do all this with your staff," and he told him, "God don't like how this world is coming." See, my theory to all of this, we got putting the science aside, is God has put diseases and deaths on this world because of how people act.
Mm.
People get better, this world will get better. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I mean, you can look. He said the only thing, he will never flood us again. But he didn't.
He
say
said to be fired next time.
Yeah.
He said when we wired, be fired and stuff like. Well, you know what? Can I say this?
What comes in between that though? And we're not acting right as
well. It did. All of this is in the Bible with the plagues.
Yeah.
I would like to say too that men are doing things, mixing and twisting things around, and altering things, and some things are being created that maybe that shouldn't be there, and so all these different things are coming up. Just like I heard on the news, they have the insects. They're making new insects. I don't know how they're making the new insects that's supposed to get rid of the bad insects. Now, where do these insects come from? So, just think in a scientific world, how they experiment and they do things, they mutate things, they put different, insects, people, animals, whatever. They just try everything to see what they're going to come up with, So if you can, when they say they're making an insect, they're creating this insect so they can get rid of the bad insects. No, it's the bad insects. Right. Yeah. It was insects with these really strange looking bugs or flies, and they don't even know where they came from. I don't know, where they materialized. And I'm immediately, I think over the top anyway. I'm like, so what did you guys do? Did y'all create that? It's just like when they mate certain dogs and come up with another kind of dog you've never seen before. So it's just like, they're mixing and matching and actually, doing things that nature that may not be natural, and they're coming up with it. So some of these things could have got created. Now, we've heard so many things about the COVID.
Now listen, remember when they was cloning? You think they stopped cloning stuff?
No, they didn't stop. They can let you know the baby can come out and look like a brand new you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a lot that goes on in this world today. And, that's why we got to look to God. I was listening to what you're saying about God is watching what we're doing. But a lot of things, man creates these situations and they create these issues, you know. And you got the higher ups people that may be very wealthy. That, you know, I was looking at something that's called what is it called? Bias. It's about being biased, coded bias, and this means that. And did want to talk about this too. You guys, we're here with Dannie in London. Let me shoot back to our picture so you can see Danielle.
Hey, everybody.
It's us. We just having a late night chat, talking about what's going on. This news flash is not such a flash; it's quite a bit. But I just was looking at something on television, and I saw on the cable, and it had coded bias. And so what it was talking about, we have systemic racism among people, but it's also, they're saying at the top, the wealthy person that builds the computers, all the things, the social medias and all those things, they build those systems to be biased. And so then when you want to complain about something, if you go get a job, and instead of them saying, well, that person they're treating me with discrimination. And what the girl was saying, that was testing it, she's a African American, kind of like she deals with the science, and she was also doing the facial recognition type situation about the color of the skin. And she said they showed how the computer, the system that is set up, is encoded in the system. Bias is. So if you happen to be black and you're this, and that, you may not get the job. And then they'll say, well, we put it all in the computer, and the computer is the one who decided that you weren't going to get this position. Or it's going to decide that you didn't get this credit but they get all your statistics. So what it is, they have the computers that's mimicking man. It's mimicking all that. So we have more to deal with. We're just dealing with the people, other human beings. Now we're dealing with the system, dealing with the computers, the social medias and all that. It's ingrained in that, and they built it like that on purpose. I saw where a young lady went. I don't look like she was at the White House or somewhere, and she had went as far as to get a hearing about it to change that. Because that does go, I think they put facial recognition is on hold to 2022, I believe. They put it on hold. I don't know if they did in 2020 or 2021. I don't know. They put it on hold for a year. Because, they were saying a lot of people are getting stopped and for no reason at all. They were getting accused of things that they didn't even do because and it was geared all towards targeted to the African American person. So it's on hold right now, but what they were saying is they got to keep working on it, because what's going to happen if they decide they want to bring it back again? There's nothing that says that they cannot bring it back again, but they put a 1-year hold on that. So, it's like we have to keep working on. We have to keep working on these things. Stay aware. And this is just a conversation about being aware about what's going on in the world today. You wonder why you trying to come up in your lifestyle. You trying to get a certain type of job. You trying to get a certain type of credit. You might even be trying to get a loan, and because of this coded bias, which is, you're already dealing with a person that you might be sitting across the desk with. There you go to the bank to get a loan, or you even. When you apply for a credit card, you can do that online. So what they were saying is it's in the system where they can discriminate. That way you're not necessarily talking to a person, but this system has the ideas of a person. And what they had said is just a very few very wealthy people at the top that build these mechanisms, and they encode it into the system. So they don't always have to tell you in your face, when you're African American, you're not getting it. The system will do it automatically. So that's why we have to continue to be aware And as a matter of fact, it wasn't just an African American. There's a teacher. There was a Mexican teacher. He had gotten all these awards. When you get a chance, you can go online and look for coded bias. And you can pull up and look up that whole storyline. I mean, this is true stuff. This is just not conversation, but it just caught my eye when I saw what they were talking about. But so it was. I think he was a Mexican or whatever. He was getting awards for years by being one of the best teachers. I think he lost a chance to be promoted because of coded bias. And it was because the system did it to him. When the system got done with him, they made him look like his reputation was dirt, and it wasn't true. So it's like the system it'll take us a lie, it'll judge you, but what it is standing in place of what the man wants it to be, what it wants it to say. So now, so we need to know we're dealing with people that built the system. And we're dealing with the system. And today, we deal a lot with computers. Everything is online, And so, to avoid, they were saying the issue was, if you want to sue, who are you going to sue? You're going to sue the computer? So, somehow, I think this guy did go and sue about it. But he had to go through a lot to sue. Who do you sue? That was the question. How do you sue when you wasn't really facing a person, but you're saying the system did it? And I think that he won. It's just a lot going on in the world today. And it's not, it's not just one thing. It's coming from all different type of areas that we need to just be aware of. So that's why we're having the flash news and it's inspired by Dannie. I should have put Dannie's name first, Dannie in London, because she started it. So what's up, Dannie? Anything else you have to say before I want to show this clip from, it's a very, very powerful speech. Yeah.
With my last words, I'm just here to advocate. Get informed. Get all the information you can because it's helpful for your own benefit. Especially when it comes down to the stimulus money. If you're not informed and you don't know, you're not gonna get nothing because you wouldn't know where to look or how to go about getting it. So I'm glad we can be on air to inform people that if you don't get out and see about your portion, y'all can send it over to me in London.
He's so crazy. You know what? I think it is very important that we gather information. But I mean, because you told me, I honestly, I'm busy doing this and that and working or whatever, and I do listen to the news in between, but I didn't hear that. I just totally, that went right over my head. I just happened to catch about the billboard that's on 8 Mile about, and it just says dangerous racial profiling, So I'm glad they did that because that prompted the newscasters to go out there, find a police officer, and question him right there on the spot. So it's good. It's good, that some kind of ways that we can speak out. Now, I guess I was asking Miss Irene, is there any good news that we can give today? Two Detroit, I'm going to give you some good news. 2 Detroit area singers moved to the next round on The Voice. That's Romeo team. Rachel Mack and Detroit singer, I think Zania Aleki, will keep battling on this season of The Voice. Both.
And I think she's like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
She's really good. She sung a song by Aretha Franklin. You close your eyes, you saw Riri.
Is that the lady with the blonde hair? Short blonde hair?
This is a little young, short black girl.
Little younger.
She's not real short, but she's real young. She's like 14.
Oh, these are children, young people. It says both edged out their competitors in the battleground rounds of the popular NBC show. Mac is now 16. Beat fellow she beat the Michigan singer Bradley Sinclair on Monday after a performance on the Elton John classic, Your Song. I'm trying to see. This came out April 13th, 2021. Okay. And Lakey topped fellow singer Darrell Anthony last week after the two sang the Bee Gees' Emotion. And they said, quote, "I am so grateful beyond belief," wrote Mac on Instagram after Monday's show. But best part about the whole thing is that, to me, this wasn't a battle. It was a duet. I had the privilege of working with one of the best musicians I have met. So I guess we just, good news. You can drop some good news on there.
Always.
Yeah. But information is information. Reality is reality. Life is what it is. And they say knowing is half the battle, which I really do believe that. We need to know what's happening, which is going to enlighten us. Maybe it might curb some things that could happen. Maybe it won't. It's like waking up, getting up, and changes are being made. So, but we know God is our Father. He's going to take care of us, but He does want us to know what's happening. So I want to play this clip that's going to come up right after this.
Blatant stand against racial
We're going to do that racial profiling.
Oh,
here we go with that again.
Giant billboard now catching attention by calling out police.
Yeah.
Boards like this one at 8 Mile and DeQuinder.
Look at that full clip online. Because you can hear what the police officer was saying. I didn't want to put up him all on there.
The billboard, it should be.
In Louisiana, USA, I met a man called Rudy Jones. He's in prison, facing a trial for a murder, which is not committed. Is that something which happens in Hackney or Tottenham or Brixton? Why Rudy? He's black, he's poor, and he likes a drink. He also has an alibi. But guess what? The alibi witness is black. He's poor, and he likes a drink. The white cops have been to see him. They told him, we like Rudy for this. And if you help him, we may have to sweep you up to and charge you as an accomplice. Nothing like that happens in Hackney or Tottenham or Brixton. Should we march again? Should we walk down the same streets and sing "We Shall Overcome" and hand in a list of our names to men who will not read it? Men who will never hear our songs of protest, who cannot feel our pain, because after decades of singing and polite protest, I'm starting to think it might be the time to judge those we seek to change, not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I ask you this now because I hear a rumbling. I hear a long, low note of deep anger. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It is the sound of a black nation rising. It's been a long time coming, but it is coming. And when I look around at you, my sisters and brothers, I feel that pain. But I also feel the power inside that pain. Now is the moment in our history where we must say, as clear can be, if you hurt me, I will hurt you too. If you hurt my brother, all of my brothers are coming for you. Asleep. In Louisiana, we are wide awake. In Hackney and Tottenham and Brixton, our consciousness is awoken. And in this new dawn, there will be action. And the consequence of that action is power for our people. And in that power is true freedom.
Well, just wanted to put that on. That was a pretty deep clip. From a movie, if you want to look at it. We don't own the rights to any of this, but I thought I would like to take that clip out of there. It's a powerful speech. We need to watch that because that film takes another turn, of course. This clip is from Undercover. I didn't get a chance to get the name of that actor right there. And it says, we do not own this video or any of these clips. We just want to inform you with the news flash and give you some information. And so now we're back with Dannie in London with the news flash. Anything you want to say else, Danny, before we go?
I hope everybody have a peaceful and wonderful night. And I'm looking for good news, good news, good news. But I will be reporting all news.
Yeah, I thank you, Danny, for being available. We want to say Facebook family and LICMC radio family. Anybody that's listening, thank you for popping in. Next time we'll probably try to. Well, we know that we're going to do this. We'll try to do it a little more regular, and I'll be able to post it on Facebook to let you know we're coming back on. Didn't get a chance to do it this time, but at least we see Miss Irene in Washington is listening, and some other people were listening. I'm not sure if the Wright family were listening, but we thank you for popping in. You can always go back and look at this. And this is airing on the radio too, so we're gonna take this and re-air it on the radio later on. Just some information to listen to and to make us be more aware of what's going on. And we're gonna try to come up with some more news flashes and some more wonderful positive things, but also things to make us more aware. Thank you, Miss Danny.
You're welcome, and when I come back, I will make sure I have all my notes, and they can go right to whatever app or site they need to go to pull up the information, because I want to be a help and a blessing. I want everybody to get that 4-year money. Like I said, if they don't want it, they can always send it to you.
It sounds amazing, and I hope that works for people. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.